morning, everyone, and welcome back to Good Morning Games. And today is a big day because we are going to be talking about Nintendo's E3.
Oh, yeah. Huge day right here at Good Morning Games.
This is a day we have been waiting for quite some time. So, what we're going to kind of do, I guess, is just we're going to go through games that have already been announced as well as just predictions that we have that could be there. There's a ton of options here, but first let's just start. When they announced this direct, first off, that it is 40 minutes focused on software, and this has been said many times. I would assume they said that because they know that all these things are going around about the Switch Pro. Maybe that's not why, but I think that they're really trying to say, don't, set your expectations. There's not going to be any new system here. So, what do you think? I mean, let's just touch on the fact that, nothing was announced. There's no Switch Pro announced before E3.
Yeah, well, that whole news cycle came and went really fast. Everyone all of a sudden was like, oh God, it's happening. The Switch Pro is going to get announced before E3. And now that obviously didn't happen. And I don't see them announcing it during their direct at E3, where they have already said they're going to focus on software, and it's only 40 minutes long. I don't see them setting aside even 5 minutes to be like, oh yeah, by the way, we also have our Switch revision update here.
Yeah, there's a difference between like when they say this direct is going to focus on 2019 games, and then they show like one 2020 game and everyone's like, oh, they lied.
Yeah.
There's a difference between that and saying we're going to focus on software, and then they come with like a new system. They're not going to do that.
Yeah, I agree. They did say, what was their wording? They're focusing on software that's going to release later this year.
They said focusing on software mainly coming out in 2021.
Yeah, so obviously there's going to be some 2022 stuff in there as well.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure there will be multiple.
Yeah. I think I remember one E3 where there were like 3 or 4 games, even when they said we're focusing on this year, and then there were like 3 or 4 games that were the following year.
Yeah, they tend to do that.
Yeah.
They lie a little bit.
Do whatever they want. It doesn't matter.
So anyways, I think we've talked about the Switch Pro enough. I'm just going to say people keep commenting that this thing isn't real. Nothing has been proved that makes this not real. I don't think Bloomberg's lying. It's coming.
Yeah, no, I think people are just sick of hearing the rumors and the constant updates. Like, oh, now it's this time frame. Now it's this time. I think people are just really sick of it, and that's understandable. But it's definitely real. And it's definitely coming. Yeah. It's definitely dropping right now. Check Twitter. Yep, there it is.
Okay, so I guess to start, let's just talk about some of the things that games that have already been announced. To kick it off, Mario Golf Super Rush.
Oh yeah.
I definitely think that's going to be there. And I would not be surprised if they have a decent trailer for it. I'm expecting that to be in the Treehouse quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. The Treehouse is going to be after the direct, and it's 3 hours long, and that's where they show all the gameplay. I'm expecting quite a bit of Mario Golf Super Rush in that Treehouse for sure, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that game.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I love golf games.
Yeah.
And this looks awesome. I'm really excited for story mode and just being able to play. Like, we're gonna play this. We're betting $10.
Oh yeah,
all the time on this.
Yeah, Madden's going in the trash, and we're starting to bet on Mario Golf now. Yeah. This comes out 2 weeks from today. It'll be the 25th, right? That's when this one releases.
That sounds right.
Yeah, I think that's when this comes out. So yeah, 2 weeks. Got 2 weeks to beat Ratchet and Clank. Then it's Mario Golf time.
So anyways, I'm sure they'll just have a trailer. Probably nothing too crazy, but I do think that I'm anticipating the 2 things that they will focus on the most at the Treehouse. And this is obviously because I don't know other things, but I think it's going to be Mario Golf and Skyward Sword. We'll get the 2 longest segments at the Treehouse. So next we can talk about Skyward Sword.
I would throw Pokemon in there too, probably.
Yeah, That's true.
But yeah, so Skyward Sword comes out like a month later. It's in July. And yeah, I would expect quite a bit of this in the Treehouse. A lot of people are saying this is going to be like the start of the Zelda 35 stuff, which at this point seems very likely. I know back in like early March, we thought maybe they'll throw another port before Skyward Sword, but turns out that's just us being idiots, just dying for Zelda stuff.
Yeah.
It seemed possible, but it didn't happen. So yeah, looks like Skyward Sword's going to be the start of it. And I'd expect a heavy dose.
They've definitely started the promo for this game quite a bit on Twitter. I feel like almost every day Nintendo's been tweeting something about Skyward Sword. So that alone makes me pretty confident there's no Zelda coming. There's nothing going to be coming before it.
No.
They want to promote that. I would also think there's not going to be anything right after it either. But
it was also interesting they held on to that amiibo announcement because the game was announced in February, and then they held the amiibo till like May. I think it was late May when that got announced. It was like a reminder not only of a new amiibo, but it was like another way to bring Skyward Sword back into the marketing mix. So they definitely knew that amiibo was coming in February, but they just announced the Joy-Con in the game. So it was kind of interesting how they did that.
Yeah. And kind of the same with Mario Golf. I'm not anticipating a huge trailer because, there is a lot of things they have not. I'm hoping that they haven't talked about with this. I do think that there's going to be a decent amount of like quality of life changes, but I think they're going to talk about that more in the Treehouse because that's an easy thing to just talk about as they're playing the game.
Yeah,
I'm sure they'll talk about some.
They're probably going to drop a golf amiibo for every character next week.
Yeah, that's what's happening.
No, I actually hope that they didn't. They revealed like a pretty big character roster. I think 16 golfers. I think they showed, and I really hope that's not all of them because I like unlocking new characters. So I hope there are more that are yet to be revealed.
Yeah. So, okay, Mario Golf, Skyward Sword. Other things that we have, games that have been announced. We have Monster Hunter Stories 2. I feel like there's been a few trailers of that released. They also is a Capcom show. I'm not expecting much on that. Then I guess let's talk about the Pokemon games. So do we think that we're going to get a decent chunk on Diamond and Pearl and Legends?
Yeah, I actually don't think they'll be in the Direct at all. I think they'll show up in the tree houses. I can't remember off the top of my head. Do Pokemon games normally pop up in tree houses, or are they saved for Pokemon Presents showcase things?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember. I do remember. I know that Sword and Shield was in that E3's Direct.
Yeah,
but I don't remember if it was in the Treehouse. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I could definitely. I mean, I don't think they'll be in the Direct, but they definitely could be for maybe little trailers here and there. It would seem like a weird use of time to bring those up again.
Yeah, unless the only I don't expect it just because I think Pokemon will have another Presents at some point where they can talk about it, but you never know. I mean, if they really wanted to talk about Legends, I'm down to listen.
Oh, Legends for sure. Yeah. I would love to hear more about that. Just because we don't know as much. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Twitter drops of the release dates and that stuff kind of is supposed to hold us over until the next Pokemon Presents where they talk about them more.
Yeah, I would agree. Then we have Splatoon 3. What do you think?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think so either. I just don't, especially if it's next year and like I think that was just kind of they used that as a one more thing last time. I don't know. I just don't see them focusing on that.
Yeah, I think I said this on a different podcast, but feels like they used that in the older Direct, the Direct earlier this year, almost to get it out of the way so that they don't have to announce it at E3, but still
Mhm.
give it like a little bit of
Yeah.
spotlight that it deserves, like to make it a one more thing announcement. It looks
Mhm.
cool. I'm not bashing it in any way. I don't think it's gonna be at this E3, and they just said 2022, so I'm kind of expecting like July or later. I think Splatoon 2 was a July release, so I would definitely expect it at next year's E3 to be a main focus of them for their booth or whatever they have at that point.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so then we can just touch on they did announce at that Sonic event, Sonic Colors, the remake is coming.
Oh yeah,
Was
Sonic's
that
back.
September?
Yeah, September. And
Yeah.
that's supposed to be one of the better Sonic games. It was on the Wii 10 years ago. And now it's flying onto the Switch for
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah, if that was on, if that's at all shown, I'm thinking it'd be in one of those like, where they just run through games that are coming.
Yeah, one of their third-party montages they normally have. Yeah, I could definitely see that happening.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, they're not gonna focus on a remake too much, but I could see them just at least showing a little bit.
Like at the end of the direct, they're like, "Oh, and here's a bunch of shit coming out to the Switch," and it's just they play some song for 3 minutes and cycle through games, and then how was that? Here's one more thing, and that's it.
Yep, exactly. I bet you that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Okay. How about Project Triangle Strategy?
You, I don't know. I don't expect a lot on this. I think the February direct followed by the demo was enough to get this team going, like to make changes based on feedback from the demo. And I don't think it's been long enough for them to like have a meaningful update at this point. I would expect it either at another direct later this year or like February 2022 direct, more so than E3 this year.
Yeah, so what they did with Octopath was I don't know the exact dates, but it was something along the lines, let's say it was around similar, where it was like June, they announced it. I think it was announced actually at the Nintendo Switch showcase, but whatever. They like came out with a demo, and then like a year later, they didn't show it again for like a year, and then they said, here's a new demo with things that are fixed, and the game comes out in 3 months.
Yep.
So they'll probably do that same thing.
I would expect the same thing. Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Okay, so then the last 3 things that we have announced are Bayonetta 3.
Ooh,
what do you think?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say on that. I wouldn't be, how about this? I'm not expecting it. I'm not expecting it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I have no good reasoning. I just am not expecting it.
Yeah. I feel like it would be one of those things where if it showed up, I'd be like, of course. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to give it like a 40% chance of showing up.
Sure. Then, I guess we can call these 2 announced. Metroid Prime 4.
Mm-hmm. Not going to be there.
Yeah, it's not going to be there. The most I think that will happen is that they'll say it's coming along smoothly and we'll have more to show you later.
They would have to say that. If they announced that 2D Metroid game, they would have to say Prime 4 is still in development.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm expecting.
Yeah.
And then, well, before I get to this, actually, I do have a little list of indies that have been announced.
There's one more big one that I think is...
Go ahead.
Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And that leaked.
Yeah. I think that's a November release. So I think that's 100% going to be there.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. That's absolutely going to be there because if anyone didn't see that, pretty much the release date leaked in November and like the entire website was updated what they were probably planning on updating after E3, so it had all the details about the game and everything, the story. So yeah, somebody on Somebody in Sega, they really fucked up.
Yeah, somebody at Sega really fucked up.
Somebody's getting fired. Little Timmy, the intern. It's my first job.
He clicked the green button to upload instead of the red button to store.
Yeah. So yeah. And then there is Breath of the Wild 2. But before we get to that, I wrote down some indies that I'm looking forward to. I'm just gonna run through. So
Yeah.
Sports Story. I think that could be at a direct. What do you think?
Yeah, there's enough hype for that. That could be
Yeah.
a direct.
So then remember in that last indie showcase,
Bear and
me
Breakfast.
and you liked. Yeah, well, that was I got that written down too. I don't think that'll be
No, I
it,
don't
but that'd be
think so.
awesome. There was that one Ollie Ollie game we both thought looked cool.
Yeah.
I'm not really expecting any of these. Then their focus. Their one more thing on that last indie world was Oxenfree 2. I thought that game Card Shark looked cool. There was a game Garden Story that looked pretty cool. Eastward was a while ago. That looked cool.
Yeah.
And then Axiom Verge 2, I believe, has been confirmed for this summer. It was originally supposed to come in the spring. So I don't know. I could see Sports Story and maybe Axiom Verge 2 getting like a little bit. But besides that, I don't think they're going to show many indies.
Yeah, I think Oxenfree 2, Annapurna Interactive just had a showcase announced for, I think, next month. So I don't expect to see any of their stuff at E3 since they are having their own thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, those other ones, certainly possible, definitely. There is, I think there's also an indie showcase at E3, isn't there?
You may be right.
So
that sounds...
That could, I mean, an indie developers, not the same type of indie showcase we see from Nintendo, but like an indie focused thing on E3 schedule.
Yeah.
But either way, I could see those things ending up in the Nintendo Direct though, because they're pretty big.
Yeah. Okay, so then the only other thing that has... I probably am missing something, but, screw off.
We don't have time.
The only other thing I have that's announced is Breath of the Wild 2. And so we can just kind of go into, I guess, let's talk about what we think for Zelda 35. What are they going to do? Are they going to have a section? Are they going to specifically talk about Zelda's 35th anniversary?
Here's what's happening. They're going to give us a little more tease on Skyward Sword, or not tease, a little more coverage on Skyward Sword HD. They're going to announce another port, probably the Wind Waker Twilight Princess dual pack, and then they're going to drop another trailer for an actual trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 with a release date. I think with the month and day and year, all three. That's what I think they're going to give us the actual release date and the title, official title. And it's going to be sometime next year.
All right, so...
And that's going to be the Zelda.
So here's what I think. I think it's going to go... Man, I don't know what I think. I mean, here's the thing. It's either one of two things. They either are going to have a 10-minute section dedicated, to the Zelda's 35th where they go over... like you said, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, maybe an Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Breath of the Wild 2, and some of the merch that's going to come out for Zelda's 35th. It's either that, or I think that they're only going to show Breath of the Wild 2, and it'll be something smaller, and then there'll be another Zelda 35th anniversary direct. I don't think that's going to happen, but what throws me off is the fact that they didn't say that, like when they announced this direct, that they didn't say, the direct's going to be 40 minutes focused on celebrating Zelda's 35th anniversary.
Yeah, there was no mention of Zelda.
And I know that they don't have to do that. They can 100% just have 10 minutes focused to it.
Yeah.
But they've all, I remember E3 2 years ago, or maybe, I don't know if that was 2 or 3 years ago, but they said, 40 minutes focused on Fire Emblem Three Houses. And it's like Fire Emblem's section was like 7 minutes.
Yeah.
But it was the longest section, you know? So it's just, I felt like they would have said focused on Zelda's 35th anniversary if they were going to do all of these things that was Zelda celebrating 35th. So
yeah,
I don't know. that's not that great of a reason, but that's just enough to give me like maybe they don't talk about all this stuff. But if I had to guess, I think that they'll announce the Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and then they'll do a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I think we'll at least get those two. And I'm thinking it's going to end not with the date, but I think it's going to say spring 2022.
It could be good. Which order do you think they would do it in? Would they do the ports first and then Breath of the Wild 2? Or because the date on Breath of the Wild 2 is probably going to be 2022 later than people want, are they going to be like, and in the meantime, please enjoy this dual pack of ports?
I think they'd save Breath of the Wild 2 for the last of the Zelda announcements.
Right. I don't think they would discount a game and by saying like, in the meantime, enjoy this piece of shit.
yeah. Which don't you ever say that about those two games?
I don't think they would do that. I was just kind of thinking out loud, but yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying, definitely.
I think maybe we just got to temper our expectations for Zelda 35. They're not going to do 100 Zelda games. They're not going to do 10 Zelda games. I think the dual pack and Breath of the Wild 2 and Skyward Sword might be it. Maybe another dual pack.
I mean, here's the thing. That's more than enough. It's just that like there's been a lot. I feel like that's all I ever expected, honestly. But then I've just been hearing more and more people have been talking about an Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. So like I would have never thought that. But I feel like it's kind of been not talked about. I still think it's possible that they have the N64 Virtual Console. I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of been dropped. People aren't thinking about that anymore. But I think that's a more reasonable way to be like, and here's Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, because then they don't have to do anything. It's not like they're upscaling it. They're not doing anything. Yeah. And it's not like we're putting this out too close to Skyward Sword. Yeah. It's like, well, it's not really a release. It's just free things. So I don't know. I could see that, but I would love to get remakes of Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. That'd be awesome.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be at E3. that trailer's hitting.
Yeah,
it's going to be their focus. I think they have to. The games I hope so. The games that are coming out this fall are great. Shin Megami Tensei 5 allegedly for November. Pokemon November. And we didn't even talk about the 2D Metroid yet, but
we'll get that.
Like
that's pretty much confirmed. I feel like, even though we haven't heard anything from them.
Well, none of those are outright like a AAA. Because I'm sorry, Pokemon. I know it's a huge seller, but this is a remake of a DS game. It's not going to be. It's not what you normally can. It's not on the same tier as like Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey or something like that. It's great. I'm gonna get it. But like those three games, it's like. They're all very, very solid, but they're not like a big holiday release. And they didn't really have a big holiday release last year. They had Age of Calamity, and I don't even remember what else came out last fall for Nintendo.
That was what they considered that was their holiday.
Yeah, I love that game, but it wasn't what you would normally expect for a holiday release.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I don't know. I think they're going to focus a lot on Breath of the Wild 2 and then have it say it's coming out next year.
Yeah. I mean, it would be, God, if that says like October or something, I'm just going to lose my shit. I'd be so happy.
Yeah.
But I'm not expecting that. I've heard too many people say 2022 now that I just feel like I'm choosing to be blind if I think it's coming before that.
I'm expecting, you know this, but I'm expecting next fall at this point, and I'm just saying that to protect myself.
But deep down, you're not expecting that.
But deep down, I'm praying it's this fall.
Okay.
I don't think anybody knows. Nobody knows. Yeah. It's so under wraps.
That is true. That's the other thing. I mean, anyone who has any like trustworthy people none of them have straight
They're
up
full
said
of shit.
like, well, no, I mean,
No, I'm
none of them
joking.
have said it's next year, like
Yeah.
for sure or anything.
It's all just speculation.
It's all just speculation. I don't think anyone knows. Oh, there's one other thing. There's one other thing that we didn't talk about. Which we can just say no if you don't think so. But do we think that there's going to be any remakes or anything of any of the other Zelda games, any 2D ones or anything like that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, that could be one of their surprise announcements, definitely, because we haven't really heard anything about like a Oracle of Ages or Seasons remake, or like Spirit Tracks or Link Between Worlds. But that could definitely be maybe one of the things Grezzo was working on. Maybe like similar to Miitopia coming over, like grabbing a couple of those DS Zelda games and throwing them on the Switch. I could see that.
Yeah, I'm the same. I mean, I'm not counting on that, but I just thought I'd bring it up.
Yeah, I'm not counting on it, but I wouldn't be that surprised if it hit.
Mm-hmm. All right, then let's talk about Metroid. We already kind of talked about Metroid Prime 4 getting a mention, but what else we got?
So yeah, I think the Prime trilogy is just going to be held on to until they have more clarity on the release of Prime 4, and then, figure out the release kind of working in reverse that way. But I had this 2D Metroid coming from Mercury Steam, the studio behind Metroid Samus Returns on 3DS. Apparently their Metroid game is done. It's complete because they've already moved on to their next project, and I think we can expect to see it probably this October would be my guess. August or October. I'm going October.
Yeah. I feel the exact same. If there's anything that has not been announced that I'm considering a lock, it's a 2D Metroid.
Yeah, me too.
There's just enough people that have talked about it that are reliable that I really think that that's a lock, which is awesome. I mean, that's awesome. We have not got anything Metroid in so long. I'm really excited. I'm very happy with the 2D. And yeah, on the Metroid Prime trilogy, I got a bone to pick with.
Let's hear it.
With
everybody
who says
on
this,
pod.
Everybody who says this, and I understand the thought process, but everyone kind of says like they're gonna wait to put out the Prime trilogy until it's closer to the release date of 4, which I understand that, but I also think like those are 3 meaty games, and like I can't sit down and play one, beat it, and then be like, let's play the next one, beat it, play the next one, beat it. Like a game like that, I'm gonna want to take a couple months to play something else, and then I'll go back and play a second. Like I don't know, I just don't. I get it. I get them in the marketing sense. They want it to be like one big Prime, like year or whatever. But if it was me, I'd give it 2 years. I'd release it 2 years before Prime 4, but I get it.
My thought was 12 to 18 months ahead.
Yeah.
Which, we're probably still not 2 years out from Prime. I think Prime 4 is probably holiday 23. So maybe Prime trilogy is like next spring or something like that.
So let's see. That was January 2018 when they said they restarted. I think
it was 19.
Does that sound right? 1918. Let's look. Yeah, wait, you're probably right.
Yeah, because they announced the game in E3 2017. I'm pretty sure
3 years ago. Oh wait, no, that's not it. Never mind. Yeah, you're probably right. 2019.
Yeah. So it's been like a little over 2 years since they restarted. So I think
January 2019. So
for a game like that, I would expect 2 more years at least.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, it's probably like end of 2023. So anyways. Okay. Well, that would be awesome. I would love any other Metroid games if they want to put GBA on the Switch. I'd love some more Metroid, but
yeah. I mean, Zero Mission, Fusion. I would love to see that stuff on the Switch, but I'm not expecting it.
Yeah, me neither. Okay, how about Donkey Kong?
So another one that kind of out of nowhere in the past month, all these rumors of a new Donkey Kong game by the Odyssey dev team popping up. At this point, I said this before too. I think that's going to be their one more thing. I think they're just going to be like Donkey Kong explodes on the screen, and then it's like a big title for next year. I don't see that coming out this year. And to me, that would be an awesome way to end the show, because I think you want Breath of the Wild 2 to be like a main focus, and then have like this big Donkey Kong game from the Odyssey dev team to be your tease to go out on. That would be pretty amazing, I think.
Yeah. So, yes. The only thing is, I really want this to be 3D. Here's the thing. When they said, when this first kind of came out there, I remember hearing, I don't remember what it was, saying, they wanted to get Donkey Kong back to as big as it was or something like that. It's like, if they're going to do one more thing and it's 2D Donkey Kong, I just don't know. It's not going to get people as excited. And believe me, I'll play it and I'll love it. I know I will. I thought Tropical Freeze was amazing. One of the best 2D platformers ever. But yeah. I just if they said we got one more thing and you hear a camera panning in the jungle and you see Donkey Kong jump out of that, what do you call it?
Barrel cannon?
Not the barrel cannon, where they live. Treehouse.
Oh, tree.
And it's just this open world going throughout the jungle. That people will be like, oh my God, yes. I cannot wait for that.
That's kind of what I'm expecting. Since it's not Rare making it, or Retro making it. That's kind of what I was expecting for the one more thing. Not a 2D. And if it is a 2D, it would have to be wildly different from Tropical Freeze.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I was gonna say. I'm hoping for 3D. If it's 2D, I want it to look different. I want it to be different. I don't want it to, I don't know. I just don't want it to be another similar to the past two, which those are both great. I have no problem with them. I just want
something a little fresh.
Yeah. Okay.
Featuring Funky Kong.
Yeah. So then how about
Kirby?
How about Kirby? What do you think?
New game coming this August.
Yeah, I think there's a 3D Kirby coming.
Yeah. I think like I said, Metroid is August or October. I think Metroid and Kirby are going to be those 2 months.
Yeah, so similar to Donkey Kong, but a little different in the sense that Donkey Kong would be fine with a 2D. I wouldn't be as excited, but the series itself would do fine. I think if Kirby comes out with another 2D game that is baby and easy, it's going to kill it. They can't afford to do one more. They can't afford to do another Kirby game that is just you can beat it without dying. And it's just like a 2D platformer. I think this has got to be 3D.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know what, if they did another Kirby that's 2D, like Star Allies, it looked great, but it was so dumbed down. I get it. It's for young kids. Totally understand, but young kids can definitely play 3D platformers.
Yeah.
That's been proven, and I think now would be the time to throw a 3D Kirby out there. Maybe in the what was it called? Bowser's Fury engine, that type of thing. Do a Kirby in that style. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I would be any 3D Kirby game. It would immediately pique my interest so much more. I don't know.
Yeah.
It
would
honestly,
be way more fun.
If there's a 2D Kirby, I probably wouldn't buy it, and that's pretty rare for me for Nintendo first party big series.
I remember you bought Star Allies and you were so pissed.
Yeah. I beat it I beat it, I don't know how, really quickly, and I died one time, and it was on the final boss, and the only reason I died is because it was one of those things where the camera pushes you, and so you have to you're getting chased by something, and there was a hole that popped up that you didn't see, and I fell down and died. And it was the only time I died the entire game. which is just like,
Wow.
that's embarrassing. That's
Oh, dude, you died on Star Allies? God. You
yeah.
gotta sell your Switch.
Yeah. So yeah, I can't do that again.
Yeah. So yeah, 3D Kirby. I've been really happy. This is kind of a tangent, but I've been really happy with the lack of leaks, outside of
Yeah.
a couple things here or there. I watch E3 to get surprise announcements. I hate leaks. Even though I actively search them out, I
Yep.
still I hate when something awesome gets spoiled for me. I want Nintendo to reveal their good stuff on their terms. So
Yeah. And Nintendo usually does a really good job of that, I would say,
Yeah.
compared to other companies. Like,
yeah, definitely.
there's always surprises. So, yeah, I'm really excited because, yeah, just to talk about that, like, even of the things we have already mentioned, like, besides those few games that are confirmed, like, besides Mario Golf, Skyward Sword, and the Pokemon games, like, this could be anything, which is awesome. They have 40 minutes, so it could be anything. Okay, how about Mario and Rabbids 2?
Yeah, I think that's going to be at the Ubisoft Forward.
Yeah, so yeah, I do too. They just put Mario plus Rabbids on sale for super cheap.
$5.
$5. So
A really good deal if you've never played that game.
yeah, so that signals,
Yeah.
I think that's going to happen, and yeah, I hope that they expand on it. I really liked it. It would be cool if, I don't know, it'd be cool if they made it a little bit bigger, or a little more, I don't know, a little different. I guess I just don't want the same thing again.
Yeah. I
some
said that on the
changes.
last pod. When we were talking about the Ubisoft Forward. I played the first one. I didn't beat it. I know they had DLC come out for it. I don't know what they would do for a second one. So if they do decide to make one, I'm kind of excited to see what direction they take it in.
I think that they would. I think that they'd change it. So I'm hopeful. Okay, how about, do we think we'll see like an Animal Crossing update?
Absolutely. I think
Zelda?
Animal Crossing, probably.
Yeah.
I think Zelda items could definitely make an appearance in Animal Crossing. I think the Animal Crossing update and the Smash Fighter are two absolute locks for the next two directs.
Yeah.
Because I think we're going to get one Smash Fighter in this, and then actually, if there is a fall direct, then yeah, probably the other Smash Fighter there. And yeah, those are just good announcements for games that have been out for a while, just to keep them updated and stuff. I don't know. I feel like those are really good direct content.
Yeah. Yeah, so we can go to Smash. Do you have any thoughts who it's going to be?
I want it to be Captain Toad or Master Chief or Waluigi.
Yeah, so
I don't think Captain Toad's going to get in, but I want him in.
I do think it'll only be one character. I've heard some people say it could be two. The only way I could see it being two, and I still don't really, but maybe if the first one is like a you know what? Forget it. I'm gonna say there's only one.
It's only one. There's no way they're going to do two.
I mean, they did it last E3. That's the only reason why they did two. They did.
Oh, did they?
They opened it with. They opened the show with the Dragon Quest hero, and then they ended it with Banjo.
I completely forgot about that. Now
Yeah.
I feel like an idiot. Yeah,
So,
I guess they could.
So I mean, so that's what I was gonna say was along that. The reason they did that was, I think, because Dragon Quest is like huge in Japan, but it's not as big here, and Banjo is huge here and not as big in Japan. So
Sure.
that was kind of, I think, the thought behind that. So I was just gonna say, what I was gonna say is the only way I could see them being two is if like one of them is a first party character that like not everyone like is not gonna people aren't gonna go crazy for. Then like maybe that they'd have a crazy one after that. But I'm only expecting one.
Yeah, I'm only expecting one, just because I think they want. Well, they've announced that Smash Fighter Pass 2 is going to be the last one, and also that it's going to be wrapped up by the end of the year. But I feel like they're not going to want to just blow the Smash load
Yeah.
all at E3. They're going to want to drag it out and
Yeah.
get the most out of their marketing time for the
Yeah,
game, which
for
is 3 years old now and still amazing. So
Yeah.
I think they're gonna drag that out.
Yeah. Okay. How about WarioWare? Because as we talked about, there was a kind of a leaked survey from Nintendo that asked if you would buy a WarioWare game for $50, and I hope everyone said yes.
Yeah, if you didn't say yes, you're an idiot. No. Yeah, that WarioWare needs to be on Switch, and $50 is a steal for a WarioWare game. Any WarioWare game. I don't care which one. Just except Shake It, I guess.
That was in WarioWare though. That was like a Wario. Wasn't that like a platformer?
Oh, maybe I'm
was.
misremembering that. Okay.
I think it was.
Yeah, I mean, I think that survey, it's so weird that it would come out right before E3. It's almost, now I'm like double, I'm like double reverse.
I kind of am not expecting it. I don't.
Everyone was like, "Oh, this confirms it for E3."
Yeah,
and
I
was one of those too. But now I'm like, maybe they're just.
I mean, it could just be quite in advance. Like they could, this could be early on in WarioWare, and they just want to know, like, okay, would you guys pay $50 for it? If enough people say yeah, they're like, okay, we can put this amount of money into it, because it's going to sell for 50. I don't know.
It kind of feels like if they have a fall direct, that this would be a game that pops up in the fall direct that gets released early next year.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say that. That sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. How about Fire Emblem, a remake? Is what kind of people have been assuming?
Yeah, the GameCube Fire Emblem or the 3DS Fire Emblems. I think we're gonna get announcements for ports of those to the Switch. I really hope that's not our One More Thing announcement. Yeah, it's not hype enough.
Okay, so then how about, do we think we'll get any? Okay, how about Mario Kart? Anything?
No. No Mario Kart.
I don't think so either. And I also want to I got another thing I want to say.
Okay, let's hear it.
I don't think, and if I'm wrong, I will, I'll eat it. But I don't see, I've heard people say like Nintendo Kart, but it's like, I don't get why you would do that. Like Mario Kart is one of the biggest names, one of the biggest franchises. Like, why can't they just make Mario Kart 9 and have other Nintendo characters in it? You know what I mean? Like,
they've already started that.
Yeah. Because like people are saying, oh, well, why don't they make a Nintendo Kart and have it be like Super Smash Bros? But it's like, well, you can just make Mario Kart 9 and have it have that many characters.
If they were going to do that, they would not have added the Splatoon characters and Animal Crossing characters to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, is my opinion. Yeah,
I just think the next Mario Kart's going to have way more characters.
Yeah, and Link. Link's in there too. I mean, and they got F-Zero tracks and tracks from all kinds of franchises. Yeah, I don't think a Nintendo Kart is in the works. I think the Mario Kart name has too much value.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
But no, I don't think we're going to see anything Mario Kart related at this E3. Is Mario Kart Tour still being updated, the mobile game?
I'm not sure.
They might mention
I played it when it came out, and that's about it.
Yeah. Maybe they'll mention something for that, but like, no, I don't think anything else.
Yeah, I'm not counting on it either. It'd be cool.
Yeah.
That's like I don't know. That could be. We said this a few weeks ago. Like that could be a One More Thing, but I don't think it would be this year. I think that might be a One More Thing like next year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Okay. How about Super Mario Party 2?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't really think so either, but I wouldn't be completely shocked if we saw that.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be excited about it. I just don't think They just did that update for the Super Mario Party to add online mode finally 3 years later, but um I am kind of curious what that studio's doing, because didn't they did Mario Party and then they went right into Clubhouse games, and they've been kind of silent ever since. So um it'd be nice to know what they're working on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So then, well, I guess. So then, what I kind of just have like some series. We can talk about. Is there? So, how about Pikmin? Do we think anything Pikmin?
Man, Pikmin 4 would be sick. That would be a great announcement at this E3.
Something no one's really expecting too.
Why not? Sure. Maybe we'll see Pikmin 4.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. And it's called Pikmin 4K, and it's for the Switch Pro.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think that just kind of, I'm just thinking about it now, but I think that of all the things that I don't expect, that's the one I expect the most of the things I don't expect.
I
know, like
I know what you're saying.
If that came out, I'd be like, whoa, I did not expect that. But like, okay, I could see that. So yeah, that I'm definitely not expecting it, but that'd be cool. I agree.
Yeah.
And the Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which was released last year, did pretty well for, I think it was the highest selling Pikmin game.
And that's one that they made and held on to. And that's the only reason I'm thinking like, okay, they probably had a release window for that based on when 4 is coming out. That's kind of what my thought process is on that. Like, Pikmin 3 came out in last October, whenever that was, November maybe, and I would say the timing, if that's something they want to do, then Pikmin 4 would be later this year or first half of next year is my thought.
Yeah. So only other major, unless I'm missing something, only other major franchise would be Star Fox and Mario. Either of those, do we think we'll get anything?
No.
Yeah, I definitely don't think Star Fox. No. I don't think Mario either.
I just think the Mario 35 was they've done Mario and he's covered until an Odyssey 2 gets released.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's really all. Oh, yeah, Monolith Soft.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone has been saying that they're done with the game. I have all along been under the impression it was not Xenoblade, but I feel like more recently people have been saying it's Xenoblade 3. I don't know, though. I was always under the impression it was something different.
Me too.
And I'm hoping it's something different.
I mean, nothing against Xenoblade. It's not my favorite kind of game. Totally understand why people love it. It's not for me, so that's why I'm selfishly saying I hope it's something else. I would love to see what they do with a different Nintendo IP. We've talked before about how they helped out on Breath of the Wild. And apparently the studio is a lot bigger now than it used to be. So it's possible they made Xenoblade and another game. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to see whatever their new game is at this show.
I do too. Cool. The only other things I have are just little random things, nothing really worth talking about. But is there any series maybe that's like in the grave that you would love to see come back? Like I wrote down Wave Race, 1080, Golden Sun, Kid Icarus, and
Advance Wars.
Maybe some sort of Mario RPG. I said Advance Wars would be awesome.
Yeah, definitely Mario RPG, something from that. Like, obviously, the original game I'm talking about, and also all the Mario and Luigi games. Would love to see those come back, even though the studio kind of blew up. But, I mean, of those, either Advance Wars or Wave Race would be my choice, I think. I would love to see either of those come back. And E3's the place for them to do something like that.
Yeah. Just thinking here about those that I just said, of those, the only one like that I think I could see being a big deal, I could see a Kid Icarus if they did it right. Like I think that could still be a big franchise for Nintendo, you know? Like if they did a huge open world Kid Icarus game, that'd be awesome. But I all the other ones, it's like they're kind of niche. I mean, I loved Advance Wars. I would be awesome to get a new one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not really expecting any of those. Then the only other two things I have is Madden. That'd be EA, but God, I just want Madden to come to the Switch.
I would love for Madden to come to the Switch, but that's EA has their own thing happening in July, so I think we would see that there. Yeah.
And then on this morning on that Nate the Hate podcast, they brought up, which then I looked into, was Final Fantasy. They all of the like games that were on mobile. They remade like 1 through I think 6 is on mobile, and they changed the names on them recently. Like this past week, they all changed them to, instead of just saying Final Fantasy 4 on your phone, it changed it to Final Fantasy 4 and then in parentheses 3D remake.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. They were just saying, could there be like something coming from Final Fantasy? So all I'm just gonna say is I want Final Fantasy 6 in HD 2D. That'd be Square Enix again, but that's what I want.
Yeah. Any game in HD 2D would be great, honestly. Every Super Nintendo RPG that's halfway decent, just staff up at the studio and get going on cranking those out. But yeah, I think that is kind of neat how those games got renamed so close to this, time where we're going to get tons of announcements.
Seems like something's happening.
Dragon Quest 3, like getting the treatment is awesome, but yeah, Final Fantasy 6/3, whatever you want to call it, would be the game everyone wants, I think.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, anything else?
Mario football, American football.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's do that. I would love that.
That's hitting. That's going. I think if we get Kirby, Metroid, if the second half looks like this, Mario Golf, Skyward Sword, Kirby, Metroid, SMT5, and Pokemon Remake. Did I forget anything? That's 6 games between June.
I mean, I would think maybe I mean, that's all right now, but there's got to be something September.
Yeah. But even if there isn't, that lineup of 6 games is pretty amazing. It is 2 remakes, and nothing huge, nothing major, but it's a lot of solid games. So yeah, I think you're right. I think I would expect one more big game, Breath of the Wild 2, to definitely be in there somewhere. This year is going to be solid no matter what. And with this E3, I know we just went over like everything. We are not expecting a lot of those things that just, I don't know. These prediction things are always fun, but it's like, if I get a couple of those things, I'll be happy. I've said it a lot. All I want to see is a new Metroid game and Breath of the Wild 2, a decent trailer. If I get those 2 things, I'll be happy. Okay, so let's give the Good Morning Games Nintendo E3 locks right now. I think Kirby, 2D Metroid releasing this year are locks, and I think the trailer for Breath of the Wild 2 is a lock with a release date. Anything to add or take away from that? And I'm just talking about stuff we don't know about.
Yeah. I mean, those are the things I would say is a lock too. I would not say we're for sure going to get a release date on Breath of the Wild 2. That's the only thing.
Well, at least a year. We'll get a year on it.
Yeah. We'll definitely get a year. I would agree. I would say those are. I don't know. Kirby, who knows though?
Kirby's in there. I don't think I've got to. It doesn't. If we're wrong, what's going to happen?
Channel explodes.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, those are our locks. Fine, I'm in.
Yeah.
Those are our locks. Kirby, 2D Metroid Breath of the Wild 2 trailer with a release window.
Yeah, release window on the end of it. I think those are for sure going to be in there. If I'm wrong, you can tweet us at GM Games Podcast or email us at goodmorninggamespodcast@gmail.com. Also, if you have anything to say about any of these predictions, anything you agree with, disagree with, feel free to shout us out and we'll say what's up.
Yeah, and if you're really pissed off, you can go to his address at 784
123 Fake Street.
yeah. All right. Well, we are excited, and we will be talking to you throughout the weekend as well. So happy E3, and we'll see you.
Yeah. Sorry. Well, we are going to drop recaps of every day of E3, I think.
Yeah.
So look out for those. But all right. Bye.
Bye. See ya.